So, Shannon Sharp, I regret to make this announcement right here on live TV on Undisputed. Your man, LeBron James, just won his 5th, if you can believe, MVP, and his 4th, back in the control room, I'm getting it back, my voice back in my ear here, if you guys could fix this. But this is driving me crazy like my voice in my ear is. But Shannon, what happened was that your man was on a hell-bent pace to win this MVP. And I believe he had just edged past, you think he had blown past Giannis for this year's MVP. And in so doing, he was playing high minutes for a guy who was in year 17. You were making the point, well, it's a career low minutes per game for LeBron. But the point was that he still played 209 more minutes than anybody else on the Los Angeles Lakers. That's astounding to me. And he'd still played the 15th most minutes in the whole NBA. And for a guy nearing the end of year 17, a guy who did get hurt a year ago on Christmas Day when he pulled his groin and really wasn't the same the rest of the year and they missed the playoffs, for that kind of guy, 209 more minutes than any other Laker is a pretty precipitous pace that you're on, because you are daring the injury devil that you're going to get hurt again. So I thought it was right on time for LeBron to not only clinch his 5th MVP, which by the way would tie him with Michael Jordan, but also it puts him in even much stronger position to win his 4th ring. He's now 3-6 in the finals. That would be 4-6 in the finals, and at least make him a little more credible candidate for GOAT, as you already proclaim him. But the point was with the Clippers, they just needed reps. They needed this season to go forward because they just haven't played together enough. Remember, that only 10 times, well, it's now 11 because they lost that game to the Lakers, but only 11 times this year have they had their full roster intact, and they'd played 64 total games. And remember this, LeBron had already played 60 games, and AD had played 55 games, and together they had played 53 games. So they'd gotten a whole lot of reps as a duo, as a dynamic duo. What's happened with the Clippers? Kawhi's down at 51 games. Paul George is way down at 42 games, and they've only played 32 games together. So it's 53 together for LeBron and AD, and only 32 together for the dynamic duo of the Clippers. And again, I think the Clippers are better than the Lakers, but they're not more experienced this year than the Lakers, because they need to get something clicking by playing more games. And now they can't play any games, and we're not sure whether they're going to be any more games, but if they have a brief sort of prelude to playoffs and then throw everybody into an abbreviated playoffs, maybe it'll be 5-game series instead of 7-game series. Well, it's a huge, huge advantage to LeBron James. So I'm going to congratulate him, because the team I love, the Clippers, by the way, remember, they just recently added Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson. They are high volume shooters. They are ball dominant. You know, one guy's off the bench and one guy's a new starter, but they're new ball dominant cogs to this attack, and they're going to shoot the basketball. Well, you got to figure out how to blend them in to the new chemistry of the Clippers, and I think that's going to be a big problem if we just go.
I want to say something why I think the NBA has got a real fighting chance here. The biggest brand in this league easily is the Lakers. And the biggest personal brand is LeBron, and it's not really close. Giannis, Kawhi, great players, they're not LeBron's brand. And they're both humming this year. LeBron's humming, and the Lakers are humming. Both excellent. You really got to get this year in. And I'll give you an example. LeBron's first title in Miami. We never discredit that. Do you know that was a shortened season? We never talk about that. We never bring that up. Why? Because the last image, we loved Dwayne Wade. We were so happy for LeBron, Chris Bosh. We saw images. We knew Pat Riley. We never talk about that. We forget that it was a shortened season, and we've never once held that against LeBron James and D. Wade. It's like movies. Usual Suspect, good movie. But what makes Usual Suspects to be considered by many to be better than it was, it's got a great ending. It's got a great last 15 minutes. And it covers up, which is mostly, it's an okay movie. But if you ask people, you ever watch Usual Suspects? Oh, my God, it's like Gone with the Wind. It's like Goodfellas. It's like Godfather. It's the best movie. It's an average movie, slightly above average, with a great ending. This is why you got to get this season in. Because if the last image, there's a chance that it's going to be LeBron in a Laker uniform, third team winning a title, we're not going to 20 years on a 30 for 30 talk about the virus. We're going to talk about LeBron and the Lakers. The last image, the last 10 minutes of the movie are going to be so unbelievable. You are going to go, wow, LeBron, third team. Wasn't that the year? Yeah. But, God, that's better than Jordan. I mean, he's way better. And I'll fill shows for years on, LeBron's better than Jordan. Not that damn virus. And there's another part of this. Whenever there's a downturn, whenever there is a crisis for an American business, and the NBA, this is a crisis, right? Go back to things that are dependable. Go back to stuff. In the NBA, you know what the basics are? LeBron, the Lakers. In baseball, the Yankees. For a long time, Jeter. Those are the basics. When you come out of a crisis, you have to deliver for the public things they trust, things they like, things they know, simplicity and basics. LeBron and Lakers, with the chance to be the last image of this season, will take one of the strangest, saddest, most tragic years, Kobe's death, the virus. But if the lasting image is that, that's what we'll talk about 20 years from now. That's the power. That's the power of titles and LeBron and the Lakers and championships and our devotion. To give you an idea of the basics being LeBron and the Lakers, if you take out Christmas Day, which is always the highest rated NBA regular season day, if you take that out, the 11 highest rated NBA games so far this year, 11 for 11, LeBron and the Lakers. They got a chance to win this thing. It will cover up some of the awfulness and the obstacles and the bumps and the crisis. 10 biggest grossing movies last year. Movie theaters, last few years, people aren't going. They were all sequels or franchises. What do people like? What are the basics? What do we know? What do we put our arms around? What do we trust? What are we familiar with? I think Mark Cuban knows it. You got to get back. Whatever it is, modify it. Test everybody, but you got to do everything you can to have a season.
Michael Jordan.
We all waiting.
If I'm Michael Jordan, I'm going to go in there and I'm making a conference call and I'm like, okay, what's the reason we're going to hold on to it to June now?
No.
Compared to now where everybody is at home.
Everybody. The whole world testing 100,000 times. It's done. It's been done.
It's done.
ESPN. I know I don't want to get fired, but release that shit. Release that.
ESPN can't fire you, RJ. You my friend.
Well, you can't say that. You can't say that because people already give me shit because, well,
I didn't say you didn't say